As I stood before the antique mirror, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The glass seemed to ripple, like the surface of a pond, and the reflection staring back at me was different. My eyes appeared darker, my smile twisted, and my skin deathly pale. I tried to brush it off as a trick of the light, but the sensation lingered. It was as if the mirror was trying to tell me a secret, a truth I wasn't ready to face. And then, I saw it, a shadowy figure lurking just behind me, its presence seeming to seep from the mirror's depths. I spun around, but there was no one there. The mirror's lie had begun, and I was about to uncover a truth that would shatter my life forever. I still remember the day I inherited the antique mirror from my great-aunt's estate. It was an eerie, gloomy afternoon, with rain pattering against the windows like skeletal fingers. The mirror, with its intricately carved gold frame and silvered glass, seemed to glow with an otherworldly light as I unwrapped it from its dusty shroud. As I placed it in my bedroom, I couldn't help but feel a shiver run down my spine. Something about the mirror's ornate design and the way it seemed to draw me in made me uneasy. But I pushed the feeling aside, telling myself it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. At first, the mirror seemed like a harmless addition to my room. I'd catch glimpses of myself in its glass as I got ready for work or changed into my pajamas. But as the days passed, I began to notice strange things. The mirror seemed to be reflecting a version of me that wasn't quite right. My eyes appeared darker, my smile twisted, and my skin deathly pale. I tried to brush it off as a trick of the light or a side effect of the mirror's age. But the sensation lingered, and I found myself avoiding the mirror altogether. That was when I started noticing the shadow. At first, it was just a flicker of movement out of the corner of my eye. I turned to face the mirror, and there would be no one there. But as the days went by, the shadow grew bolder. I'd catch glimpses of it lurking just behind me, its presence seeming to seep from the mirror's depths. One night, as I was getting ready for bed, I saw it clearly. The shadow was tall, imposing, and seemed to be watching me with an unblinking gaze. I spun around, but there was no one there. The mirror's lie had begun, and I was about to uncover a truth that would shatter my life forever. I tried to shake off the feeling of unease, telling myself it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. But the image of the shadow lingered in my mind, and I found myself avoiding the mirror altogether again. I'd get dressed in the dark, or use my phone's camera to check my appearance instead of facing the mirror's glass. But the mirror seemed to be calling to me, drawing me in with an otherworldly pull. I'd catch myself glancing at it out of the corner of my eye, hoping to catch a glimpse of the shadow again. And then, one night, I saw it. The shadow was back, and this time it was closer than ever before. I spun around, my heart racing, and that's when I saw it. A figure, tall and imposing, standing just behind me. Its face was twisted into a grotesque grin, and its eyes seemed to bore into my soul. I tried to scream, but my voice was frozen in my throat. The figure began to move closer, its presence filling the room with an unspeakable evil. I was paralyzed with fear, unable to move or speak. And then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the figure vanished. I collapsed to the floor, my heart still racing with fear. I knew then that the mirror was more than just a simple antique. It was a portal to something dark and sinister, and I had to get rid of it before it was too late. But as I looked up at the mirror, I saw something that made my blood run cold. The reflection staring back at me was no longer my own. It was the figure, its twisted grin and evil eyes mocking me from the glass. I knew then that I was trapped, caught in a web of horror and deceit. And the mirror, that cursed and haunted mirror, was the key to it all. I stumbled backward, my eyes fixed on the mirror in horror. The figure's reflection began to move, its eyes glinting with a malevolent light. I tried to turn away, but my feet seemed rooted to the spot. Suddenly, the mirror's glass began to ripple and distort, like water on a hot summer day. The figure's reflection started to fade, replaced by a vision of a dark and foreboding forest. I felt a strange pull, as if the mirror was drawing me into its depths. I tried to resist, but my body seemed to move of its own accord. I felt myself being pulled closer to the mirror, closer to the forest that seemed to be waiting for me. And then, everything went black. When I came to, I was lying on my bedroom floor, my head throbbing with pain. The mirror was still there, its glass smooth and unbroken. But something was different. The room seemed darker, the shadows deeper and more menacing. And then, I saw it. A small, antique key lying on the floor beside me. It was attached to a faded red ribbon, and it seemed to be pulsing with a strange, otherworldly energy. I knew then that the mirror had given me a message. It was a key to unlocking the secrets of the forest, and the horrors that lay within. And I knew that I had to use it, no matter what terrors awaited me. To be continued. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to stay updated on new videos.